Hello, Year 11s. Sorry I can't be there. I'm going to do things slightly differently today. So in your books, today's heading is going to be hormones in controlling the menstrual cycle. Hormones, brand new pen. Hormones controlling the menstrual cycle. If you can add today's date and underline your headings, please. Okay, now you're going to need most of a page for this, so don't squash it in. And we're going to start off by listing some of the endocrine organs that are responsible or play a part of the menstrual cycle. So we're going to start off with the pituitary gland. We then have the ovary, and we have the uterus. And I'm just going to put those all in blocks so it is nice and neat and clear. Now if you've got different colours, that's going to be really useful in this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do all the hormones in black and all the explanations in purple, and hopefully you'll see the difference as we do this. So to start off with, the pituitary gland secretes a hormone known as follicle stimulating hormone. Now the good thing is for GCSE, all we have to know is it's called FSH. So I'm going to show that the ovary, so the pituitary gland, secretes FSH. The target organ is the ovary, and that hormone is FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. I'm going to change to a different color pen. The follicle is a structure in which an immature egg is found. So the name gives away what it does. It stimulates the egg, the immature egg in the ovary. So we're going to put our first bullet point. It causes the egg to ripen in the ovary, and in addition it stimulates the ovary to produce its hormone estrogen. Stimulates estrogen production. Going to show this clearly in case the colors aren't clear, and if you want a reminder, follicle stimulating hormone. Okay, if at any point I go too fast, just ask the teacher to pause the video. Okay, now that egg is maturing inside the ovary, and the ovary now goes and secretes the hormone estrogen. Now estrogen actually targets 2 organs. How clever is that? 2 for the price of 1. So the first organ it's going to target is the pituitary gland. So what I'm going to do on here, I'm going to write, and it's up to you. I'm going to write the hormone estrogen. So turn my page. And to show it's a hormone, I'm going to put it in a curly frame. OESTROGEN. Okay. Now the estrogen does 2 things. The first thing it does is it causes the pituitary gland to stop secreting FSH. So over here I'm going to write it inhibits, is another word for stops, inhibits FSH production. And at the same time, it causes the pituitary gland to secrete a new hormone. I'll do this in black, which is going to target the ovary, and that hormone is called luteinizing hormone. So it stimulates the production of luteinizing hormone. Now luteinizing hormone is what causes the egg to be released on day 14. So that is summarized by the one word, ovulation. So it causes, I should do that in purple, causes ovulation, OVULATION, OVULATION on day 14. Remember, that's a more or less. So that's when you're most likely to become pregnant, and probably a day before, day after. A 3-day window is that time when it could be very, very dangerous to have unprotected sex. Okay, now the ovary also secretes estrogen, which targets the uterus. So estrogen is secreted here as well, and its job is to cause the lining of the uterus to start growing. Why does it need to grow? In preparation for fertilization. So it causes the lining of the uterus to start growing. So that's going to happen soon after you've had your period, and the lining will then start to build up. On the graphs we see it building up until it becomes flat. Okay. And at the same time, estrogen causes LH to switch off. so it causes LH to be inhibited. So no more eggs will be released. And the ovary is also responsible for secreting another hormone called progesterone. Progesterone. Sorry, I squashed that in a bit there. ONE. Now, what progesterone does is it causes that lining that has been building up in the uterus to be maintained, okay, in preparation for pregnancy. So it maintains the lining of the uterus, maintains the lining of the uterus. So that's in the second half of the cycle. And again, it inhibits the release or stops the release of LH and FSH. Okay, so as you're revising, it might be worthwhile for when you're looking back just to follow the path with a bit of an order. So we start off over here, the pituitary gland secreting FSH, which causes the eggs to ripen, stimulates estrogen production of the ovary. The ovary then releases estrogen, which either inhibits FSH production and stimulates LH. What does LH do? It causes ovulation on day 14, which means that the egg is released. Then the ovary also secretes estrogen, which targets the uterus. That causes the lining of the uterus to start growing. So that's going to be 6. And then inhibits LH, 7. It also secretes progesterone, which maintains the lining of the uterus and inhibits the release of FSH. So what you need to be able to do is you need to be able to cover that up and be able to remember all the different parts. So what I would love you to do is, on a rough piece of paper or using your board pen and writing on the table, I want you to write pituitary gland, ovary and uterus, and I want you to see how much of that you can remember, and then a few minutes later look at your partners and see if you can steal any ideas from them. And then you're going to look at the row in front or behind you and steal more ideas before you look at your own notes. Okay, I'm going to give you 10 minutes to play with that, and then we will start again.